Meet Sully, the newest addition to the fleet. Sully is a 1998 Toyota Land Cruiser with 248,000 miles on him. His original name was Frank, named by the previous owner, but I'll be hopefully getting those badges off as soon as I can. But here he is. I'll walk you through him and why I am super excited to have this thing. I've always loved Land Cruisers. I, of course, have no practical need for most of the things that make a Land Cruiser special, like most people who own them, at least in America. But I really like how incredibly durable they are, how over-engineered they are, and I've always liked Toyota, so might as well get the most truck-like Toyota truck if you're gonna get one, right? So I wanted something I could get that wasn't necessarily in good cosmetic shape, that I could beat on and not worry about it, that I could use to tow. Right now, just towing like a yard trailer for projects, but eventually maybe towing a car trailer. I wanted something that was comfortable. I would have liked something that got decent gas mileage. You can't get everything that you want, but I'm gonna walk you through it. I am blown away by how good this thing is for being a 20-year-old vehicle with almost 250,000 miles on it. So our RAV4 is a 1999, and these don't even feel like they're in the same class of vehicle. Like, this is probably the most expensive vehicle Toyota sold then, and the RAV4 is going to be one of the cheaper ones. And the type of stuff this thing has: one-touch driver's window, you know, of course, power locks, window locks, power windows for everything else, power venting rear windows, power mirrors, diff locks. This has got the rear locker and the center locker. Seat heaters in a 1998 truck. Seat heaters. Power button, which doesn't really appear to do anything that noticeable. Second gear start. Of course, like heated mirrors, heated rear window. No AC in the back, but you've got a circulation fan and of course AC in the front. It has automatic air conditioning, like where you can just set your temperature and then flip both of these to auto. The air conditioning has a little bit of leak. That's something I got to work on, either a leak or something going bad. But pretty much everything works. Like the power antenna's broken and the air conditioning has a leak. And that's it. Previous owner replaced the head unit, so I'm assuming that still worked. He just wanted like newer features. It has two sun visors, which is pretty ridiculous. That's something I've never had in a vehicle, and of course the light on that still works, because why wouldn't it? Power sunroof. Giant cubbies. I mean, this thing's got it all. Stupid amount of room. Like, I can easily sit behind myself, which is normally my how I decide if a vehicle is roomy, because I'm about 6'3", and if I can comfortably sit up front and then comfortably sit behind myself, the vehicle's got plenty of room. My head's not even in the ceiling. Everything's in pretty good condition. Like you'll see, like, there's obviously stuff that's wrong with it, but nothing that crazy. And this has so many features. More cup holders. One of my favorite things about it is tailgate. I've really wanted a tailgate. If you're wondering what this is, so my cousin passed away in 2000s, in the mid 2000s, and I guess at this point, wow, 2006, that would have been 12 years ago. This sub was his, not the box, not the amp. The amp used to be my boss's. I had it for a while, and then my brother bought it. Then my brother built this box, and my aunt and uncle gave me this sub because it was my cousin's, and he and I were the only ones in the family at the time who really cared that much about car audio. So they gave it to us, and at the time I didn't have a use for it, but my brother wanted to put something in his car, so we thought that would be great, and he built this box and put this sub in it, and it's been riding around in his car for the past 10 years, roughly. And he is now going to be overseas for a while, and his car is not going to be going with him, and this box is just going to sit in storage. So I asked if I could put it in here because the previous owner had put one of those tiny little like underseat subs in this wall. It wasn't doing anything, but the wiring is already back here, so I hooked it up. That's an old Lightning audio amp. It's not very good, but you know, it sounds all right. It rounds out the lower end of the music. I like it. Jack and everything is in there. some cubbies. I've got an air compressor in there because this is going to be our autocross vehicle. The rear seats, like there are 2 rear seats that can go in here, so this can seat 7. You can roll those seats forward, and the seats back here can flip up to the side, or they can be completely removed, and this thing has so much room on the inside. And again, this is a 20-year-old vehicle, and all this stuff works really well. Like, you just roll it forward, it's that easy. You hook it up. I twisted it, but there you go. Tons of room. I alluded to the bad mileage. It gets about 15 miles per gallon. That's not the worst, especially considering the vehicle's size, but it's also not very good compared to modern trucks. We used this a ton when we were moving into the house. You can still see some stuff in it from the move that we haven't completely cleaned up yet. But for things I want to do to this, because you know, every project vehicle I get, I might as well walk you through my plans. I need to hook up new trailer lighting because the previous owner, he said the old lighting broke, and then he replaced it with a piggyback harness that only makes the right side work. I don't know why, so I'm going to fix that. I have already replaced the wiper blades with really nice aftermarket ones because that's something that's really cheap and you should do on every car. I want to remove the running boards because I don't use them, and it gives the truck a little more of an aggressive look. I'm considering doing a torsion bar lift on the front. I already had the timing belt done because it hadn't been done in about 120,000 miles, so I had that done the first week I had it. I eventually want to replace the tires because they're kind of mismatched and they're about 5 or 6 years old, so I'm going to get the hand cooks that are on the RAV4. I'm considering having it repainted, not a super nice paint job, just something to prevent rust. It's got a couple areas that are pretty bad, as well as on top this paint is completely gone, so I'm considering doing that just so I can keep it longer because so far I really like it. I could always take it to, like, we've got a pretty good Mako in town. I know a lot of people really don't like Mako, but the one in our town is supposed to be pretty decent, and the paint's this bad. So a couple $100 if I could get paint that's better than this that will protect the truck, I don't really care. I think that's worth it. I like the look of the ARB front bumpers, but I have no practical use for them, so I probably shouldn't do anything like that. But that's all that's on the list for now. I pretty much just want to get it into the condition I want to have it in, and I want to use it for the next 10 years? I don't know. I mean, people say these things can go to 500,000 miles, so maybe it's only halfway through its life. We'll see. I'm going to try to fix up some of the cosmetics while I have it, keep the mechanicals in great shape, and keep going. Let me show you the type of shape the engine is in. This thing is really clean. Like, I was surprised when I was looking at it. There's not really any visible rust beyond just, you know, tiny little bits of surface rust that you get on any vehicle that's this old. But it runs quiet. Like, it doesn't act like it's a vehicle that's this old. I mean, it's really nice. So, hope you guys enjoy seeing this on the channel and all the other things I plan to do to it, but I am really excited. I got this thing for under $5,000 in great shape mechanically and ready to go for a couple $100,000 more. But that's all I've got for now. I'll see you guys in the next project.